Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is our snack for the journey. And this week we are walking through the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy. The first letter that Paul wrote to Timothy is a pastoral letter. A young pastor dealing with all the problems in the church. Then Paul writes a beautiful letter helping him how to do things, how to deal with leadership, with worship, with the preaching, with his testimony, how to deal with people in the church. And today we're going to see a very interesting verse that we need. I think that preachers today, we should pay attention on these verses, and sometimes we miss that. So it's in chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. Look at that. Do not rebuke an older man harshly, but exhort him as if he were your father. Treat younger men as brothers, older women as mothers, and younger women as sisters with absolute purity. Yikes. Yes, simple like that, right? This is Paul writing to a young, probably single pastor, a pastor that it works with the Apostle Paul. So he had everything to be the boss, to be the big boss, and to treat people like from the top to the bottom, look at them from the top to the bottom with superiority. I'm Timothy, the apostle, the disciple of Paul, the apostle. And Paul said, look, this is how we're going to treat people in the church. And this is not just for the pastor, this is for all of us. We need to be extremely cautious here. And we're seeing pastors doing stupid things because probably they didn't pay attention what Paul wrote to Timothy. And they do stupid things. This is why church creates so many rules and regulations about how to deal with a single woman, pastor, counseling, meetings, and all that kind of. And I try to be extremely careful with this situation. When I have to meet with someone, where it's going to be, it needs to be public. I'm not going to do in a closet room, nobody's seeing. They just see a lady coming in and I'm there and all that. It's scary. We live in a very weird world. But this is what Paul is saying here, how we're going to treat the people in the church. Older people. How am I going to treat them? I'm going to treat them as my father and my mothers. This is how I should treat them. With respect. No matter who they can be, the youngest Christian in the church with 70, 80 years old. I don't care. I treat them with respect. Oh, but they are not a grown Christian, mature Christian. It's okay. I treat people with respect. As father and as my mother. We need to do that. People in my age, how do I treat? Man, I treat as my brother. As my brother. I can do something, we can play around and do something, but it's my brother. And ladies, I treat as my sister. Timothy, yes, sister. And Paul adds something on that. He said, with absolute purity. Absolute purity. Because he knows that the temptation is there. He knows that. We know that. We all know that. And we need to be extremely careful. All of us. It doesn't matter if you're a pastor or not. Everybody. How do you treat people? People older than you, you treat as your mother and as your father. people in the same age, you treat men, you treat as your brother, if you're a man, and ladies, you treat as sister with purity. This is how we should do that. This is what we should do to avoid all those scandals that we're facing in the church. It's so sad to see that. If we will avoid all of them, no, we're sinners. Sometimes we're going to mess it up. But this is the instruction that Paul gave to a young pastor, how to treat people and help us to do the same thing with other people. And this is our snack for the journey. God bless you.